Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel 96, and in today's video, I'll be giving my thoughts on the trailer for The Mandalorian and pretty much the trailer we got at D23 yesterday. And sorry I didn't do a video on it. As pretty much I did a video yesterday where I just uploaded the thing about the sizzle reel for The Rise of Skywalker, which is pretty much my video yesterday, but I plan to do something on The Mandalorian, but never got a chance in the end, but here you are doing it a day later. So with all that out of the way, let's begin. So pretty much with the Mandalorian trailer, it looks pretty good. And I did like the tone of it, and I did like the look of it, like the aesthetic to it, which looks pretty good. And I definitely can't wait to see how this show plays out, and I do have a lot of high hopes for this show. Like, I think this show will be a game changer for Star Wars, and I really do think this will, as I said, this will get, I think well received by the fans, and I think this will be something that the hardcore fans will enjoy and the casual fans will enjoy. I feel like we'll see more of like the more people who don't really follow the lore outside the movies, the people who never, followed the expanded universe slash legends or the new canon and all that stuff, or, never watched the Clone Wars or never watched Rebels or never watched Resistance. I think we'll get into the show. Like the more general movie going audience will probably get into this show as well as much as the hardcore fans like me. So I think both sides of the fandom will probably get into this show, and then also, this is going to be set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, so pretty much set between episodes 6 and 7, so it's pretty much in that 30 years in between, and pretty much this will be about 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. So so we'll get to see the state of the galaxy, what it looks like. So more, world building to the new canon post Return of the Jedi era and that stuff. And I think, as I said, I think this will be a pretty good show, and definitely, pretty much it starts out where we see a bunch of stormtrooper helmets lying on the ground, and then we see some more stormtrooper helmets on sticks and stuff, and then, we see our main character, the Mandalorian, who's played by Pedro Pascal, and then we get to see, looks like, a ship is going on, where his ship is going on to on a forest planet, which, looks like it wears green, so it looks like, and then we see water on it as well, and then we kind of see, see the ship also in a chase scene, which someone tries to shoot his ship down and stuff, and then, we're also on another planet, which looks like, has a more, it has more like gray kind of, where it looks gray on the ground, so it definitely doesn't look like Tatooine. So, pretty much in the opening of the shot looked like it was on Tatooine. As how much they have something for desert planets, how we've had pretty much with Tatooine, Geonosis, Jakku, Jeddah, I forget that Savarine, how you pronounce it, in Solo, and Basana which is going to be the new planet in The Rise of Skywalker. So pretty much, how Lucasfilm loves their desert planets. So, could be Tatooine or a new planet. You never know. But when pretty much in the opening, in the shot, the buildings did have that more Mos Eisley look, but that's what, made me think it could be Tatooine because of the buildings Mos Eisley has. And then, this will pretty much be more on the underworld aspect of Star Wars, so, this won't be like, your typical Jedi versus Sith, or your, like, rebellion versus, the conflict of the rebellion versus the Empire kind of thing. So, it won't be anything, like that. So, this will be more of like on the more underworld side to Star Wars, but, we do see stormtroopers in this, like, like there are still stormtroopers around this time in the timeline, set, as Jon Favreau said, this show is about set 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which I remember, seeing the thing when I was at Star Wars Celebration. He did confirm that it would take place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and so that's the how many years it takes place after Episode 6, and then like with that, I mean, we see the Death Troopers from Rogue One, which I thought was pretty cool. Like we see one guy with a line of Death Troopers, and it looks like the Mandalorian will face off against them, and then we pretty much see the Mandalorian face off against the regular Imperial stormtroopers, which I thought was pretty cool. We see the AT-ST as well, and then there's a night scene where they're on a speeder and stuff, and then we see like one lady hugging someone where she's standing in the like a water, which is pretty much on the planet of the forest planet and stuff, and then so we see stuff like that. Then we see pretty much Carl Weathers' character in a bar and stuff, and then there's a part where a guy gets trapped in a door, which is where the Mandalorian fights, traps someone in a door. And then there's this one guy that says pretty much how bounty hunting is an easy task, and that's pretty much the trailer, like pretty much like things you'll see in the trailer, and it's really not that long for a trailer. I mean, it's between 1 and 2 minutes, but it's under 2 minutes, so it is like about, I'm not sure the exact time it is, but it's about, I'd say over a minute, but under 2 minutes is pretty much what this trailer is. And I did say I did like what I was seeing with the trailer, and definitely as it looked pretty good, and I think there is a big hype for this as well. Like I'm pretty hyped for this, and I mean I've been excited for this from the beginning when we got the first image and stuff, which I thought, man, this could be pretty cool. And then it was also I think Jon Favreau will do a pretty good job with this. And then, I mean, Dave Filoni's directing a few episode or a few, which I think, we'll get to see his first take on doing in the live action is, pretty much as he's been working with animation. So we get to see, can't wait to see how he can handle live action. And then we also have Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, is directing an episode. And then, pretty much Jon Favreau will be the showrunner of this. And then it was also cool to see, as we knew from last year, that George Lucas got to visit the set for The Mandalorian. So the creator of Star Wars got to see the set for the first ever live action Star Wars show. And then as pretty much, as I said, George Lucas did plan a Star Wars live action show called Star Wars Underworld which was, like after he released episode 3 and then when he was working with Dave Filoni on the Clone Wars. But George Lucas's, planned live action show called Star Wars Underworld was, set in the years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and then pretty much with The Mandalorian, as I said, it's pretty much set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. And that's just a fun fact about, plans of a live action Star Wars show. And then that, a little off topic thing, but you get what I mean about with with live action Star Wars shows. And I think that's all I gotta say with this, what my thoughts is. I did say I do have a positive, reaction to it. And, as I did tell you, I liked it and all that. And then, sorry about the little tangents and stuff. And with this trailer being short and then give it all the little, side tangents and stuff. And that does it for me in this video. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time with another video.